Brought to you by StationHouseCoffee.com and Postmates.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Due Date, the comedy, came out in 2010 by Todd Phillips, of course, the director of the amazingly successful Joker. But, you know, started as doing comedies, and this one is, I don't know if this was the last comedy he did before doing the Joker, but anyway, it's one of the movies that I slept on. I did not watch it. I don't know if I just didn't hear good things about it or just never had the opportunity to watch it. But it showed up on one of the streaming services. I think it was HBO, and decided to finally watch it. And this is even after listening to, there's a podcast that I listened to called Spoil the Beans, where one of the hosts tells basically the premise is one of them has seen a movie, the other one has never seen it. It starts off by the one who hasn't seen it describing what he thinks the movie is based on whatever he had gotten through osmosis, living his life and just experiencing pop culture. And then the bulk of the show is the other guy who's seen the movie describing the movie to him, and it's the way he describes it's amazing. And then they switch off every once in a while for like special reverse episodes, but the way he describes it's amazing. So after listening to that their episode Spoil the Beans, where he talked about Spoiled the Beans, basically told him everything that happens in the movie, Due Date, I had to watch it. One of the main reasons is that it has a small part in the late great Stephen Brody Stevens was in this movie. And of course, Zach Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr. are also in the movie. Road trip type of a movie, not type of a movie. It is a road trip movie, kind of similar to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in a way. They're not taking different forms of transportation, really. I mean, they try to take a plane, but they get kicked off the plane and have to drive to L.A. Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get to L.A. because his wife is pregnant and scheduled for a C-section that he needs to show up for. And Zach Galifianakis is going to L.A. to follow his dreams as an actor, and he's taking the ashes of his father to go spread into, I don't know if there was specifically a place. They do find a place to spread his ashes in the movie, but it's basically them trying to get to L.A. from, I can't remember where they started. Maybe, I think maybe Atlanta. They were like at an airport in Atlanta. And it's basically, you know, well-intentioned Zach Galifianakis being the worst luck. Like, he's just like a bad luck charm that keeps like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. But through the course of the movie, they form a bond. It's a really fun movie. It's like, unlike a lot of comedies where it's just people being stupid for stupid's sake, like Robert Downey Jr.'s character is definitely like a grounded. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is rarely goofy. I mean, even his performance as Iron Man is pretty grounded. He's like a serious guy. Like, he plays serious guy very well. And Zach Galifianakis, you know, same thing with like The Hangover. Zach Galifianakis plays a really good, like, oaf. Like, kind of a well-intentioned idiot, you know, that causes a lot of problems, doesn't really think things through too much, probably some head trauma in early childhood is a character trait of many of the characters that he plays in movies. But it's great. And it's also got, I mean, cameos from everybody, because Todd Phillips is, you know, like Jamie Foxx is in this movie. You got Eastbound and Down guy. I can't think of his name offhand. Has a small part. But yeah, it's a really fun comedy road trip movie with good people in it. Like the Brody Stevens part isn't a huge part in the movie. It's just the beginning of the film. He drives basically a car service. And he's taking Robert Downey Jr. to the airport. And where Robert Downey Jr. first meets Zach Galifianakis' character is at the airport at drop-off, where the person that's driving Zach Galifianakis runs through the open door of Brody Stevens' car, and they get in an argument, and our two leads meet each other. And also, of course, the dog. There's this amazing scene where they're all sleeping in the car, and Robert Downey Jr. wakes up because he's hearing a sound and comes to find out that it's Zach Galifianakis masturbating because he needs to go to sleep. And then he looks over after, telling him to stop, looks over, and the dog is like furiously jerking off as well. And it's amazing. It's hilarious. I mean, the dog is adorable as fuck, but dogs masturbating, and the way the dog was masturbating, it was very furious, very ferocious. As far as like, he was an angry masturbator, like he's frustrated that and it just just all worked up, which was hilarious also. But I had a roommate many years ago who had a bulldog as a pet, not the same type of dog as this one, but did look fairly similar, and except for big, the traditional bulldog, English bull, no, just bulldog, and he would masturbate. Like he would, I loved that dog. That dog was amazing. Izzy's my dog. My dog now has my friend gave me his dog's collar, and that's the collar Izzy wears, and it's spiked, hardcore. But anyway, I love that the mutual masturbation scene in the car as they're sleeping. Also, there's a scene where Zach Galifianakis's character falls asleep behind the wheel as they're driving, and like during the day. And just a crazy scene. I mean, I've dozed off behind the wheel at times back in the day as a kid, specifically driving home. I remember one time driving home from, I think it was like Ozfest or something like that, and just kind of staying in the center lane of the freeway and just hoping that the vibrations for those little road dimples wake me up. But I have never been in an accident from falling asleep in the car while driving. So, and this, I mean, the accident, clearly nobody would survive. That dog would so be dead in a real life reenactment of that scene. But it is a crazy scene, and it's just, Zach plays it off hilariously when it after they basically launch the car off of a bridge and do a full flip, having to check to make sure he got the insurance in the rental agreement. Just hilarious. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. If you're looking for a comedy, you can't go wrong with, I mean, most Todd Phillips movies are amazing. From when he was doing comedies and now that he's doing serious movies, amazing director. And this one, as far as comedies go, I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of comedy in here, but without being just stupid about it, without making their characters stupid. So I enjoy it. Go check out Due Date. I think it's on HBO right now, but movies kind of rotate around. Go check out and support small businesses. Right now is the time to do that. And if you're looking for premium coffee, single source, small batch coffee from Vermont, go to stationhousecoffee.com, Station House Coffee on Instagram. Follow them and order your coffee now from a independent small business out in Vermont. Also, if you are looking to make some money right now, times are tough, and making any kind of money at all, if you're looking to make extra money, drive for Postmates and go through my code, my link, I should say, over at inspireddisorder.com/Postmates. It'll take you to sign up. It gives me credit for referring you to sign up, but also you are guaranteed $600 for the first 75 deliveries that you make. Super easy work. If you're looking to make extra money delivering food from restaurants, now is the time to make that extra money. InspiredDisorder.com/Postmates. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out.